Stephanie Milky here, aka KetoMOM, or often called mom, sis, Steffi, daughter, wife, aunt, and friend. Just like many of you, I carry a lot of titles. My favorite title is mom. I should probably say wife, which takes a lot of my time. But let's be honest, if you want to do something and do it well, you will make the time for it. Commitment is hard because we find ourselves overcommitted, but when you practice prioritizing, you will find out what is actually important and what you can let go. With the KetoMOM podcast, you will learn together how to manage our time, commit to the most important things in life, and I will equip you with the tools you need to feel qualified each step of the way. My name is Stephanie Milky, and welcome to the KetoMOM Secrets podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the KetoMOM page. My name is Stephanie, and we are making some lunch. We just got done with CrossFit. It was hard. It was good. We're making some food for our daughter who had her wisdom teeth out. So she is doing amazing on the couch and she needs some eggs. The girls are making some low carb pizzas. We are making some lunch. So let me ask you this question. As you're tuning in, what did you have for lunch? What are you making for lunch? How is intermittent fasting going for all of you who are diving into intermittent fasting? We make our low carb pizzas with these, and we add some like either Rayo's or marinara sauce, whatever toppings you want, cheese, put them in the oven. The kids love them. Super simple. So that is what we are doing at the moment. But I actually wanted to talk to you about some thoughts that I had as I was working out today, and it was really hard workout, but really good. And one of the girls was talking about how her friends kind of make fun of her because they say, man, are you going to that CrossFit thing? They were telling her she's a part of a CrossFit cult, right? Because she talks so much about it. And can you hand me a paper towel? Hold on. She talks so much about it and she's so excited about CrossFit. And so she was like, you know what? She said, here is why I talk about it a lot. And here is why I want people to join me. And so that conversation spurred on a whole bunch of my thought process as I was working out today, as I was sweating and I wanted to quit. Turn it on 375. Make sure there's nothing in the oven. So here is my thought process today. First of all, you have to share. If you're tuning in, you have to share what you're having for lunch. Either you and are you intermittent fasting? Did you intermittent fast? The reason I ask is because I don't want me just yapping at you. Like I do have something I really want to share, and I'm sure you've heard me say it. It's a good reminder if you've already had. But I really, really love it when other people participate, so it's not just me. Then you can scroll through, see some lunch ideas, and it just might remind you to eat something. Like we love low-carb pizzas. I love tuna fish. I love egg salad. What are you making? What are you making for lunch, babe? In the air fryer. Come and say hello.
I have a venison stick.
Venison stick.
And I'm making 2 ribeyes.
I do have a really good thought for you. Just a second. Hey, come and tell them how you're feeling on intermittent fasting consistently.
Me?
Yeah. Why are you intermittent fasting every day?
To get in the best shape of my life. No, honestly, the research is there, the science is there. All the stuff is there, so that's why I'm doing it. But I'm doing great. I've had, as you probably have, maybe if you've tuned in the morning, talked a lot about our mindset. And if you can focus on who you are before you do the things that you do. And so it's been huge for me. Yeah. I'm a little out of breath. I mean, that workout.
It was hard.
I'm recovering.
Okay, so I like that. During the workout, I was chatting with one of the girls. She was talking about how her friends make fun of her for her loving the gym so much. And here's what she said, and I 100% agree. She said, it's interesting because she goes, if I did not come to the gym and if I did not come here because of the team and the coaching, because of our community, she goes, I wouldn't do it. I would never have started and I would quit because it's so hard. And she's incredible shape. Like sometimes we'll all be like, oh, I want to look like Karen. She works so hard. And so I was thinking about that and we got to round 3. So we did a whole bunch of work beforehand. And then during the workout, we had 5 rounds of different movements. And on round 3, I said, Karen, this is the round that if I was in my home gym, I would quit because I'm sweating. I'm out of breath. Nobody would be watching me. And it would be easy for me to go, okay, I'm done. That's good enough. I feel good, right? And so I was thinking about that and I was like, man, there are some key things that people need in their life to have success. And I'm saying success in any area of your life. So we talked about it this morning. If you do not watch the morning lives, you can listen to them on our podcast. You can go back and watch them. You can go to KetoMomSecrets.com. You can click on book club. I think it might say mindset. You can go to we're on Spotify. We have a podcast called Keto Mom Secrets. I don't care where you listen to it, but we're going through an incredible book called The Power to Change. It's talking about your mindset, your thinking, your identity. Here's what people need to have success in any area of their life. Number one, understanding that your thinking and your mindset matters. Hands down. If you believe that you can, you will. If you believe that you can't, you won't. So I was like, number one, we're already doing it, right? The mindset. Number two, I was at the gym and I was like, it's accountability. Whether it's one-on-one, somebody meeting you at the gym, maybe you're like, I don't have a ton of people around me, but I'm gonna message somebody and tell them when I'm done with my workout. Like whatever accountability looks like for you, maybe you're like taking pictures of all of your food and you're sending it to somebody to hold you accountable. Whatever that looks like, accountability is important because I would have quit on round 3 because I was sweating and I was hot and I was out of breath. And I easily could have gotten to my mind and said, I think I'm done. So it was huge. So also I was sitting there and I was drinking my electrolytes and I was thinking to myself how much I love ketones. And I'm like, people need the right tools, right? Do I seem intense?
No, Emery's upstairs.
Oh, sorry. So then I was like, okay, so we've got thinking, it's powerful. We've got accountability, it's powerful, it's needed. You can easily quit on yourself. 3, I was like, people need tools. And tools could be like an air fryer. It makes lunch simple for my husband, right? That is a tool in our home. A crock pot is a tool to set our family up for success so that when we have really busy nights, the food is in the crock pot in the morning so that we have dinner ready, so that we don't go through the drive-thru. Ketones are a tool. I drink them every single day. I don't have to take a nap. I don't feel lethargic. I'm not snacking all day long. They're a tool that I need. Some of you have different tools, right? What are some tools that you have in your life that you feel like they help you have success? You love your red lights. You love I don't know. What are some tools?
Frozen fruit.
He loves to have shake. So
just a little bit of a planning beforehand. So the night before you go to bed, just set out like, what does my ideal day look like tomorrow?
Yeah.
So for me, I knew we were going to work out, but I also knew I'd come home and I didn't think I'd be this. It was a tough one, but I already had my meal ready to go, so I just had to drop it in the air fryer. But if I wouldn't have been planning, my steaks would have been frozen, and then it's like an extra 30 minutes. So it's those little tiny things that can actually make a really big difference.
I had one more thing I wanted to share. I didn't write it down, so that's my fault. I wanted to talk about mindset. I wanted to talk about accountability. I wanted to talk about tools, and there was one more. Oh, I know. Well, as we were driving, I did a story about this, and I didn't do a story about this because I was thinking about it as we were driving. Can you hand me a fork?
I'm confused.
But I didn't. I was thinking about it as you were driving home, and we all were going like this. Okay. I was thinking about how much people value their health, right? So sometimes people will tell us, I think CrossFit's too expensive. No, I'm talking out loud. I'm processing this with you, all right?
Dr. Ryan talked about this the other day.
People will say, CrossFit's too expensive. And then they'll say, well, ketones are too expensive. I don't have anybody to hold me accountable. I have to go to work. I have to get up and I can't listen to books. I'm just saying the excuses. I get it. And what I will tell people is, what is the price tag you're going to put on your health? And then what I want you to do is and you don't have to do CrossFit. You could do a gym membership and go to different classes for like $40 a month. Every gym is different. So all I want to say is you can tell what you value by what you spend your money on, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's good.
So I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not a high maintenance person when it comes to my looks. I very much would love to spend my money on my gym membership, and doesn't give it the excuse to look like a big bum sometimes. But like, for example, I have women that'll like get their nails done and they will spend so much money on all of the things,
Starbucks drinks,
going through drive-thru, like all of these fancy drinks, but then they'll still tell me why I can't afford that. And listen, everybody has their own things.
Priorities are never in conflict.
Oh yes, let's just say that. Priorities are never in conflict. Like, I'm going to set us up. We are going to lead by example. We are going to take care of our health so that we don't have to spend money to take care of our health when we're older. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Really fast.
Yeah. He's going to blend something. All right. So here's what I want you to know. Please hear me. I'm not trying to yell. There's so many noises going on in my background. You're fine. Keep going. So this is what I'll tell you. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's another tool.
Planet Fitness. Like, yeah, somebody's like, it's $10.99 Planet Fitness, right? So you need accountability. So here, I'm just kind of processing this out loud because I answer a ton of questions throughout the day, and a lot of it has to do with usually one of those things. It has to do with a poor mindset. It has to do with no accountability and letting themselves off the hook, or it has to do with needing tools to help them when sometimes people think that I can just do it on my own. Like, I hear that all the time. It's not a big deal. I can do it on my own, right? And then I'll say, okay, I get it, but how long are you going to think that before you keep making the excuse and then not doing it on your own? These are for our daughter who's working on opening up her mouth. She's doing so good. She's just laying on the couch looking at us. Okay, Steve has something to share with you.
Okay, so
can you go give these to her?
When Stephanie was giving you different examples of possible swap this for that type ideas, when you think about maybe the gym is too expensive, or CrossFit's too expensive, or drinking mom fuel or ketones is too expensive, buying the right foods at the grocery store is too expensive, I want to help you with maybe a different thought. If you're saying that to any of those things, that it's too expensive, I want you to pump the brakes. I want you to take that thought captive, and I want you to replace it with this thought. I am worth the investment.
That's good.
You are worth the investment in yourself, in your health, in your food, in your fuel, in your fitness. You are worth that investment.
Yeah, it's super important because don't remember, we talked about that this morning. We said, when you get better, other things around you get better. When you get worse, it's the same thing, right? When you get better, you're changing the environment around you, the attitudes with your children or your spouse or the employees or your coworkers. When you get better, you're going to overflow into other people. When you don't, and you've got a negative mindset and you're like, I wish I could, it's going to overflow into other people as well. So I just wanted to hop on here and encourage you. And I want you to sometimes we just have to slow down in life just to give ourselves a reality check and have an awareness of, like, where do I spend my time? Where do I spend my money? Who are the people I'm surrounding myself with? And is it helping me become the best version of myself? Because you're worth it. And it doesn't mean, like, sometimes people will go, well, fill in the blank. I get it. Pump the brakes, like Steve said. Take a little bit of time. Do an assessment of what's going on in your life. Where can you take the next better step, right? Who can be your accountability partner? Who needs what you need? Who should you take with you, right? Who are you going to be an example for? And it honestly all can start with your mindset. And guess what? That part's free. Like, you can listen to podcasts, anything on YouTube. You can listen to us. You can listen to other people. You can read books. You can listen to Audible books. And a majority of that is free. And that's where it starts. Accountability can be free if you ask a friend, or very, very cheap. I would say ketones as my tool of choice, hands down, are incredible. If you've never tried them, you should chat with me because I drink them every single day. You should post ketones in the comments. But what do you want to say? And then I'm going to let them go.
Well, you gave all these other examples of things you can do to feed your mind.
Yeah.
Eventually, you got to take action. Don't just be a consumer of information.
Ooh, I love that.
Don't be just a consumer of knowledge. Be someone who puts the things that you're learning into action.
It's good. 100%. Like, if you're listening and listening and listening and then you don't actually do what somebody that you're listening to tells you, then it's just knowledge in your brain, and the action is key. So, hey, thanks for tuning in. Your presence matters. Thank you so much for always commenting below. I do want to know what you had for lunch, or maybe what you're having for dinner. Share below. It gives other people ideas. I hope you guys have an incredible day. I'm always here to help. You can always go to KetoMomSecrets.com. You can send me a message. If you need help with whatever questions you have, you can post ketones below. If you want to know why I drink ketones, I'll share with you some science from some doctors on why they're an incredible tool. Otherwise, make the rest of today great, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.